All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutation to the Akim and to the elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, pushing in truth and faith and in all sincerity. I'm the brother Shemala from the GMS Houston camp. And in this lesson, I was going to be touching on how that, the Most High, he hates pride and he hates prideful individuals. And it's just kind of touching on, the whole, Sakari issue, which brothers have been going into. Brothers have made points, and I'm not going to go too deep right into, the things, right, that this guy, Alizar, whatever, was doing. It's some sick stuff, man. And for years, man, this guy and his crew have been coming up against the apostles, been coming up against, the apostles' elders and, bishops and men of Great Millstone on down, but they specifically been, coming up against Great Millstone, slandering and, just on top of that, just saying some off stuff, like some off the wall things, right? Like some abominable things, and doing, things that's contrary to, the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And man, the Lord is bringing judgment, on these people and making examples. All right, and it's really a fearful thing, because you would have never thought that, but the Lord had all of that brewing up, right, and had all of that come out, right, to basically humble that dude. All right. But man, this ain't really gonna be too long. Like I said, I'm not even gonna go too deep into, all that was said, man. You can go watch the video for yourself and go into, all of the things that was brought out, right? I might briefly touch on some things, but you'll have to go watch that on your own time. All right. But I'll start here, Sirach 10 and 7, right? It says, pride is hateful before the Most High man, and by both doeth one commit iniquity. So the pride that you have, all right, you're committing iniquity before the Most High, right? Because being full of pride often leads, to sin, often leads to disobedience, right? Often leads to, bad, characteristics or actions, so to speak, right, that are against the way that you should walk. Okay? And the Lord hates a prideful spirit. And it says, pride is hateful before the Most High and man, and by both do one commit iniquity, right? Because no one likes a prideful individual, because someone who has pride cannot be corrected. And what happened when these guys were getting corrected, right, and were getting rebuked? What did they come back with? They came back with slander, right? They came back with, very, very disrespectful words towards the apostles, right? Towards, the men, Great Millstone, right? Just saying some, like I said, some disrespectful things, some outrageous things. So prideful individuals cannot take correction because they always feel like they're right. They always feel like they're above everybody. They can do no wrong. And that's why, he always funny, how he always labeled himself cheap this and that, right? But, hey, the Lord cast him down. Right? He's been breaking them up. And it's not over, man. This is not over. The Lord is still going to be doing, more things, all right? More things, will be happening. Like, this is just a start. This is just, the beginning. Okay, more people will get exposed for evil works and abominable things that they're doing in secret. These things will come to the light. We can go to verse 9. Why is earth and ashes proud? And what is earth and ashes talking about? It's talking about us. When you go to Genesis 3:19, it says, "In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thy taken. For dust thou art, and dust shalt thou return." So he was made from the ground, right? It's saying dust. So we was created from that. And it said we shall go back unto that. So we was created from the earth. All right? We were created, all right? We have these, fleshly bodies, right, with all these imperfections. All right? We are flawed. All right, we ain't on no type of level, right, other than what the Lord gave us with this truth. All right. Just to be honest, we through in this flesh. So it's like, it's no reason to be proud in any way. What there's no room to be proud. Like, for where? Like, what do we have to be, like, proud of? As far as proud, like, in a negative way, of course. Okay. As far as thinking you better than someone, right? Or being very high-minded. All right. For what? It says, there is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. And they show many examples of being that. All right. Covetousness goes into being greedy. So it's money, money, money. All right. You want more. You want more and more. All right. And you will do anything, right, to get that, to get the bag. Putting a price on everything. All right. It's why you got a lot of individuals, they come into this truth, right, or use the truth, I should say, to increase their pockets, increase the numbers in their bank account, right, to make a profit off of the people. It says, there is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. Why? For such a one setteth his own soul to sell. What does that mean? Meaning a person who is so covetous, right, and greedy, for all these particular things, but they will cast aside their morals for these things that they're coveting after, and lose sight, right, of any type of standards or godliness or, whatever, right? And go after the bag by all means necessary. And that's the thing with this guy, because as you can see, as you have seen, he was around a lot of people, the podcasters and, some celebrities and this and that, right? So, and one of them was the guy from the No Jumper podcast, and that's a freaked out dude, right? And when you go into the things that were exposed about, the former head of Sakari, right? He was doing some things with his woman, right? I was completely off. But who knows where he got that from, though? Or what he done seen and the things that was revealed unto him and that made other people money, and that he wanted to try it. He seen it was making him money. And it's just all a money thing. And it will lead you to do abominable things. Let's get real quick. 1 Timothy 6:9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. All right. So the money and all of these things, right, will bring upon temptation and snares, right? It says, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts. Because when you love it and when you coveting the money, right, that brings upon a different spirit, right, unto you. And you are making money a god, an idol. And you're willing to do whatever to achieve this and get more and more and more. Right? Which in that type of spirit, you can never have enough. Right? But it says, which drown men and destruction and perdition. So eventually this is what's going to come about. It says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. Right? So this is how evil starts, from having this type of mindset towards money, right? It says, which brought some coveted after they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Now, when you watch this video, right, he appeared, all right, I'll just say that he appeared to be sorrowful. The Lord humbled him. But I wouldn't just, it's not just a money thing. Like, it's been things that, man, that they have been saying and doing, like I said, for years. All right. And, the Lord, finally got him. All right. Because the Lord does things on his time, is what you got to know. Okay. The Lord doesn't have to operate right on our time. He does it when he feels like it and when the time is right for him. Okay. So he let this man build up, a so-called great name for himself, great position, all these particular things, and cast him down. All right. And man, nobody feels sorry for him. All right. Nobody feels sorry for him. Let me see. This is Sirach 10, yeah. And 12 says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High and his heart is turned away from his Maker. So when one has pride, right, you're departing from the Most High. And your mind is turned away from what the Most High requires of us. All right, and how we need to be acting and behaving. Because the way that he spoke, bro, he put himself right on the level, right? When you hear him speaking about himself, all right, like the type of authority, that he gave himself. He looked at himself as to be on a very high level, even to the point to where they were saying you didn't have to worship Yahweh Shai. So, bro, all of these things are just coming, full circle, for judgment. And the Lord is making examples like, bro, it never fails. Wicked individuals, bro, do not escape judgment. It's going to happen. You just got to wait for it and be patient. The Lord is working and will continue to work. It says, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that had to shall pour out abomination. It's what they, like I said, constantly been doing for years. All right. Paul is not a man of the Lord. All right. What they said that the Bible is not the word of God, but the word of God is contained in the Bible. All of this fuckery. How long you think the Lord was just gonna put up with that? This is Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So someone that has a prideful spirit, right, that prideful spirit leads to something bad happening to you, leads to destruction, right, or whatever it may be. But it's not going to turn out good for you. It's in a haughty spirit before a fall. So somebody that's haughty, like very high-minded, thinking you better than everybody else, and putting yourself in a high position, and high-minded, all these things, right? It's going to lead to your fall, and that's what we're witnessing. Right? These words in the scriptures are true, and they're constantly playing out. And how many times have we seen something like this anyway? I don't know. From my short time being in the truth, I've seen it. Right, multiple times. But hey, this man had been in this way longer than me. And I've continuously been seeing this multiple times on multiple different occasions and scenarios. You always have those people, they exalt themselves, they know all these precepts and the breakdowns, and they in these big positions, right? And they get full of themselves. The Lord make an example. That's why it's great to always, be humble, have that spirit of humility, right? And meekness, because the Lord can make an example out of any one of us. And you don't want that to be you. There's no reason for any one of us to be proud. This truth that was gifted unto us was not by our own works. We were called into this thing. The Lord could have left us in the world, to be oblivious and ignorant and just to suffer the judgment to come. So what do we actually have to be proud of or proud about? This is Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Right? Because they were slandering. And he just recently did that. What is like about a week ago? They always bring up the great thing, right? Constantly. And making it to be something that's untrue. That's why it's slander. And it make it seem like that we are the worst of the worst. We the worst camp and all this. Hey, people supposed to hate us anyways. So who gives a fuck, right? But they supposed to hate us for the truth. Now, the same thing happened with Polite, with the slandering. They do this, they do that. And look what happened to him. Now look at this individual. Oh, they do this, they teach that. And look at what he was doing behind closed doors. You see? That's judgment, bro. Judgment. And off with this, Sirach 1:30. Exalt not thyself, lest thy fall, and bring dishonor upon thy soul. And this was a very dishonorable thing. All right. And so the Most High discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation. And this is what happened. Secrets have been discovered and leaked online for everybody to see. You were making all these videos slandering and being proud, right, and high-minded, and for everybody to see on the internet. So, all right, so it's going to happen in front of everybody. You're going to be cast down, humiliated in front of everybody. This is because thou camest not in the truth to fear the Lord, but thy heart is full of deceit. Okay, so man, it's a fearful thing. Okay, because like I said, that wouldn't have crossed your mind. Oh yeah, this man, he doing bro. That's like, bro. That's like I said, this is some nasty stuff, bro. Some nasty stuff. Okay? But the judgment of the Lord is very real. So we all need to be on point. Right? We got the Passover coming up. And we all need to check ourselves and, check our spirits, examine ourselves, correct certain things, right? Get our mindsets, where they need to be. All right, fast, pray. These are some serious times. But, with that, I'm going to say shalom. Hope this lesson was edifying.